Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my video. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about a common question that comes up out in the field every day in our line of business in the IT world. What processor should I buy? This comes up and really this is directed more towards someone that's looking to buy a machine, which processor they should purchase, that's already installed inside the machine. If you're building your own custom machine and if costs really aren't an issue, then by all means, go out there and get yourself the newest i3, i5, i7 type of processor. The first thing that you need to do is establish what do you need it for? What do you use your computer for? What do you do on the computer? Do you do gaming? Are you into development, meaning like programs, HTML coding, graphic design, video rendering, those kinds of things? Do you do web design? Do you just use it for email, web, word processor, and media? If these are the things you use it for, well, what dictates the speed on the computer? A lot of people, the first thing that they come to the conclusion when they're going to buy a computer is they want the fastest computer. I want it to be fast. Well, there's a lot of things that affect the speed of the computer, not necessarily the processor, and so we're going to talk about a couple of those things really quick. What dictates the speed on your computer? You have the CPU, you have the network card, you have your internet service provider, you have a hard drive, and you have your RAM, your memory of your computer. Basically, the processor is no longer the bottleneck on these systems. That's an age-old myth where a lot of people think if you go out and you get the fastest processor, that automatically means that you're going to have the fastest computer. Well, that's really not true. In today's world, the processors are barely getting utilized, meaning they are barely getting tapped out to their maximum capabilities as far as processing power. There's a lot of other factors to come into play. A lot of those other factors are your computer actually accessing the data and accessing the memory on your computer. Your memory is kind of like a desk. So let's think about your work process while you're at work. You take things out, things you're currently working on today, and you put them on your desk. Well, plain and simple, if you have a bigger desk, you have more projects currently going on your desk at one given time. And that can help you access them quicker rather than having to open up a drawer, pull that project out of the drawer, and then place it on your desk, put one away. It's like having a larger desk. Another way to look at it is your CPU is your engine to your train. That train runs on coal. And you have a guy that shovels coal into that engine. And that's a lot like having RAM. That's what your RAM does. The more guys you have shoveling coal into the engine, the faster that your train's going to go. And that's going to benefit you because if you think about it using the train analogy, the more stuff that you store on your computers or the more programs that you're running simultaneously, that's like adding carts to that train. So essentially, it's going to speed your machine up. So that's really what we're referring to with RAM. More RAM gives you a larger desk space, allows your computer to work on more things at once. It keeps the system running efficiently. There's also different speeds of RAM. RAM actually does have a clock speed. They run at megahertz. So some systems, they come with a particular speed of memory and they are upgradable to a faster memory module and a larger memory module. And that will increase the speed of your computer tremendously. And RAM is the number one thing that you can do to your computer, the cheapest way to speed up the system. The other thing that dictates the speed of your computer is the internet service and the network card. A lot of people think that, well, my computer, the internet is slow. It's my computer. I need to go out. I need to get a new computer. Well, again, that's a myth. Your computer, the processor, the memory, even the hard drive have no effects as to what your internet speed capabilities are. Your internet speed is going to be dictated upon your internet service provider. So if you use someone out there, Comcast, Cox, CenturyLink, one of those cable service providers, DSL, those are going to be the main thing that dictates how fast your internet's going to be. The The second thing to that is really going to be the network card. Network cards are referred to, or for the speeds on the network cards are referred to the 802.11a, b, g, n, and ac. And really what those acronyms are different generations of the network cards. So they started at A, they went to B, they went to G, they went to N, and they went to AC. And obviously with every generation, the network card allows a faster data rate into the computer. That data is coming from your internet service provider. Thus, your theoretic speeds get faster, your computer can process that data faster, and that is a main factor when it comes to your internet speeds on your computer. So, again, it's not the processor, it's not the hard drive if you're encountering slow internet. If you're wanting to get a computer for faster internet, you're going to want to find something that has the newest generation of network card, which is AC, and you're also going to want to make sure that the modem or the router, whatever you're using, is 802.11ac. Then you're going to need the fastest throughput on your actual internet connections. Another thing we want to talk about is hard drives, and this is really the most important factor to what makes a computer fast these days, and people really don't realize it. Hard drives, that's how you access your data. That's how your computer goes and opens the application, and it's pulling from that hard drive when you're opening an application, you're working on a project. The processor is a factor processing that data. Your memory is how much of it can process at one given time, but still your hard drive providing the information, and the speed of your hard drive is extremely important to the overall speed of the computer. So your hard drives, they're accessing your data, they're opening and running applications, they're running your operating system. Hard drives, they're a spinning disk. That disk sits and spins around, and it has a head that travels across that disk, and that's how it gets all of your information. It takes that information, it processes through your processor, through your memory, through your GPU, and that's how you access it. And it happens in milliseconds. Now that platter is spinning inside your disk at a particular RPM. Your standard hard drive is about 5,400 RPMs in a laptop, 7,200 in a desktop. And one of the other simple things you can do to speed your system up is simply going and getting a faster spinning hard drive. They make 7,200 RPM hard drives for laptops. That's going to increase the speed of your computer tremendously. They also have 10,000 RPM hard drives for desktops, which are referred to as Raptor drives, and those can rival an SSD. That's what we're going to really move into next. An SSD is a solid state drive. Solid state drives no longer have that moving platter spinning disk on the inside. They simply are flash-based memory, and as fast as electricity can move through the components in that hard drive, that's how fast your information can be accessed. So you're no longer, again, relying on that spinning disk or the head traveling across the disk to find your data. It is there instantaneously, and it's tremendously faster. SSDs, hands down, the best thing you can do to your computer in order to increase its speed. Now with processors, that's another function that does make an effect. I'm not trying to make this video and preach about how processors don't have an effect on the system speed. I'm simply saying that in today's technology, processors have gone well far beyond the other components in the computer that make it run fast. Other components are just now starting to catch up, things like solid state drives, 10,000 RPM disk drives, as well as new network cards and faster memory modules. So the cores in your computer are important. You do want to have a multi-core processor, even if you're doing the little simple things. You can get that with a dual core. You don't necessarily have to buy a machine that has a quad core i7. If all you do is check your email, make some spreadsheets, do your homework, browse the internet, you don't necessarily need to go out and buy a quad core machine. It's overkill. If you're a professional and you're into graphic design and you're into video rendering, Photoshop, things like that, you probably do want a quad core at that. Or if you're a gamer, That's really when you're going to want a quad core and when you're going to actually be getting the benefits of it. So in the conclusion, determine your computer use. Try to answer this question honestly. It's really easy to get wrapped up in needing to go and buy a $1,000 computer or even a $2,000 or $3,000 MacBook Pro, iMac, something like that. Really evaluate what you're doing with it. You can easily go out there, buy a system for a couple $100 that has a Core 2 Duo with fast memory modules, a good network interface card, and a fast hard drive, and that thing is going to be a lightning bolt for you. If you're, again, a professional, a hardcore gamer, something like that, that's when you can really consider getting into a more expensive machine. I really appreciate you guys listening to this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Like it, watch it, share it. Please subscribe. And let me know if you have any other tutorial videos that you guys are interested in. Thanks.